Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And today we're going to break down the 9th track on Speak Now Taylor's version. We're talking Enchanted.
Ooh.
I just noticed that Lacey, she's been sitting here for a while, and I just noticed you made a costume change.
Yeah, this is my Enchanted-esque dress.
I love it.
Wait, stand up so we can see it on the camera.
Good twirl.
Let's see it. Let's see it. Oh, my goodness. Enchanted to meet you. You look sparkling. You look wonderstruck.
I love it.
You look flawless.
Thank you.
Please don't be in love with someone else.
It's my version of the cupcake dress. Taylor Swift dresses the best during her Speak Now era, whenever she puts on her big fancy dress and comes out and sings Enchanted.
Yeah.
Just such a beautiful moment during the Eras tour. So I wanted to dress up for
Which
this
one-
Enchanted song.
Which one's your favorite out of the dresses that she wears? Because she has like 4 that she switches out.
I think her newest one.
The blue one?
Yes. That one is just so
pretty.
beautiful. And I was showing somebody, I was out last weekend and had the Eras Tour streaming. I was showing it to somebody and they said, that dress has to be really uncomfortable. I can't believe that she does a whole performance in this dress. And I was like, you wait a minute. She does a whole performance, 2 songs in this dress. And then she goes and changes.
Yeah.
But they were like, I don't see how somebody could wear that dress and get around. Girl, get out of here.
She does glide
across the floor.
And you see it kind of like bouncing behind her. I'm just such a sucker for anything that sparkles. Like if it sparkles, I love it. There's just something
Girly girl.
something girly, sparkly, Eras Tour-esque
Yeah, but I hate glitter. Glitter really sucks.
because it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere.
I love glitter.
But I love it. It's worth it.
I don't mind if I see a little piece of glitter on someone's face. I'm like, that's fun.
But what if they don't know it's there?
You can tell them your face is glistening.
Oh my gosh, I tried so hard. So for one of the Era shows that I went to, I wanted to do the glitter heart on my eye, like in the lover
I bet that's difficult.
thing. Well, I didn't know how people were doing it. Like I thought people were like using like glue and then like putting glitter like on their faces.
I bet it's a sticker.
Well, it's like a glitter glue specifically. Like the glue itself is glitter. I didn't have that, but I did go to Target and I found glitter nail polish. So
No.
I actually put like a nail polish heart.
Did you really?
Yeah.
As a kid, I was very dumb. I don't know why, but I put it on my eyelid as eyeshadow, and my eye burned so bad.
Oh, really?
Don't do that.
Oh, I did that. But it was around my eye.
Yeah, I did it on my eyelid.
It was kind of hard to like. I had to like scratch it off though. It didn't like wash off. I had to like scratch it off.
Yeah.
But anything for Miss Swift, I will burn my eyes for her.
Well, is this a glittery gel pen song?
Something makes me say yes.
It's sparkly.
It's sparkly, glittery.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not a quill,
No, it's not a quill.
and it's not fountain pen.
I think this is a glittery gel. Like, not every glittery gel pen has to be Shake It Off or Paris. You know?
Yeah, I think this is glitter.
Okay.
It's enchanting. It's sparkling. It's
Fantasy.
fantasy, whimsical. You know, all of the words that you would associate with like the Speak Now album. I feel like is engraved into like Enchanted.
And it wasn't going to be the Speak Now album. It was going to be Enchanted.
You're right.
And Scott Bruschetta convinced her not to. Are we allowed to say his name?
Well, I just like that you said it like the food.
Oh, did I have bruschetta?
Bruschetta.
Did I really?
Which I am totally fine. I am totally
I think
fine.
that's better.
Tasty.
But yeah,
Bruschetta.
it was like you said. It was the album itself was originally supposed to be called Enchanted, and then remember for a while we wondered if Taylor's version would be called like Enchanted, like the album.
Yeah, that was a theory. Because
was-
that's, like you said, that's what she wanted it. So now that it's hers, she can name it whatever she wants.
Yeah, I wonder if she considered it, and then maybe was like, nah, let's just. I mean, Speak
you
Now
just keep it
Taylor's
the same.
version. Yeah. Also, I did see that earlier this week. Speak Now the original album officially got like knocked off of the charts, and it was like replaced with Speak Now Taylor's version.
Yay.
Love.
So
That's the goal.
that's the goal.
That's what we're trying to do here,
That's
everybody.
the goal. Well, Enchanted, I feel like, is very special. It's a very, whimsical, beautiful song. It was the song that I walked down to for my wedding, down the aisle. I did a piano cover of Enchanted, and I was actually torn between walking down the aisle to Enchanted or Wildest Dreams. But I went with Enchanted because even though I got married on a beach, I still think like a wedding is like sparkly, like twinkly, flawless. This night is, perfect, kind of thing. So now whenever I hear Enchanted, I think of my wedding day.
And,
lovely.
not to take a story that's about you and make it about me, but I got a point because I correctly guessed. Because Amy, Lacey, and I, we were at your wedding. Thanks for the invite. I
Thanks
got your
for
thank you
coming.
card in the mail.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Oh, good. Thank you. Did you notice that I wrote my thank you cards with glitter gel pens?
And a lot of Taylor Swift references.
Yes.
So thanks for that. And we all took guesses on what her walk down the aisle song was going to be and what her first dance song was going to be. And I correctly guessed Enchanted.
And I think your wife correctly guessed my first dance song.
I think she probably did. I think she did.
You guys know me so well.
And I do like when she starts singing the song, it's kind of in the lower register of her voice. It's not like champagne problems low, but it's not a super high pitched song at the beginning.
Yeah.
There I was again tonight.
Forcing laughter, faking.
I mean, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, but it's
I need a
deeper
mashup
than some.
of Enchanted and Champagne Problems now. now that you said it. So before we get into the lyrics of the song, can we talk about the story behind the song?
Let's hear it.
Because I think it's one of my favorites when it comes to
it involves like the most random person,
which is
and
I think is so funny. Like I think it is really funny, especially looking back on it. It was kind of funny at the time, kind of a little cringy.
yes,
But looking back on it, it's so funny. So Taylor said, I wrote Enchanted about a guy who I was enchanted to meet, obviously. He was somebody that I had talked to a couple of times on email, and then when I was in New York, I went to meet him. I remember just the whole way home thinking, I hope he's not in love with somebody. It was just wonderful, that feeling like, oh my gosh, who's he with? Does he like me? Does he like anybody else? What does it mean? I got home and he had emailed me and said something like, sorry, I was so quiet. I was wonderstruck meeting you. So I incorporated the word wonderstruck into the song as a, hey, this one's sort of for you. So the hidden message in the song is Adam. The Adam in question is Adam Young from Owl City. But the thing that makes this so enchanting is that Adam recorded his own version of Enchanted as response to the song. I don't know if we can play clips. I don't know. I don't want to get like. I don't know if we can play clips if we're gonna get flagged.
We got in
Probably
trouble before.
shouldn't.
Yeah,
We probably shouldn't. But he responded with his own version, basically like a cover of it, and he shared it along with this message that says, "Dearest Taylor, I'll be the first to admit I'm a rather shy boy, and since music is the most eloquent form of communication I can muster, I decided to record something for you, as sort of a reply to the breathtaking song on your current record. This is what I wanted so badly to tell you in person, but could never quite put into words. Everything about you is beautiful. You're an immensely charming girl with a wonderful heart and more grace and elegance than I know how to describe. You're a true princess from a dreamy fairy tale, a modern Cinderella. I'm terribly sorry it's taken me such a long time to reply, but I figured Valentine's Day was the perfect time to write this note to you and simply say, I was enchanted to meet you too. Love, Adam."
It's kind of cringy. What's
Kinda
more cringy, this or your
sophisticated.
video about Buster, your dog, never growing up?
The Lakes video is the cringiest
The Lakes
thing.
video.
Okay, truth be told, what is more cringy? Adam Young's version of Enchanted
Or the Lakes.
or our Lakes video?
The Lakes video.
I don't like that he made his own version. I think that's the
It's a little
cringiest.
cringy. But it's also kind of like young, flirty. Like we all did
Yeah.
cringy things. Like
Sure.
what
Yeah.
they're both doing something kind of cringy here. So like, I maybe I'll give him a pass.
Well, I think what makes it cringy is not that he covered her song, it's that he changed some of the lyrics. He said, "Oh, Taylor, I was so enchanted to meet you." And then, like, you know, the part where it's like, "Please don't be." And he says, "I was never in love with someone else. I never had somebody waiting on me. Because you were all of my dreams come true. And I just wish you knew, Taylor, I was so in love with you."
Yeah.
But, like, okay, taking the Owl City out of it, Doesn't
Could not believe her eyes.
isn't that the goal though? Don't you want the guy that you have a crush on to like write a song for you?
But maybe a little more vague
Right.
than what he did,
And
right?
he's saying, I love you. Like, were they in love? Like, what do they know what love is? Like, it was just a crush. It's not love.
It's so fun. It's like what is it that exactly makes it so kind of cringy? Because it's like, yeah, you do want somebody to write a song. Like, okay, like Taylor and Joe Jonas. I mean, granted, there were more breakup songs, but they were writing songs about each other.
Yeah.
Like, don't you want Harry Styles to write a song about you?
Yes.
How come when Adam Young does it?
But it's not really even a breakup song. It's just a song about having a big
but
old
it's like,
crush on
but
someone.
it's like when she sings it, we're like, oh my god, this is the most beautiful, sparkly,
Perfect.
wonderful
Let's walk
song I've
down
ever
the aisle
heard. Let's
to
walk
it.
down the aisle to it. But then Adam Young doesn't. We're like, ooh. Like, I feel so bad. I feel bad. Lacey, what do you think?
I thought it was a little sweet. I mean, yes, it's corny, but that was the response that she was looking for. I mean, if you're going to send Taylor a love poem, I would have to be silly with it because it's not like I could match her or anything. So, I mean, maybe that was his attempt at trying to match her, and that's what he came up with.
It didn't work. They're not together.
And they never were. Like after that, they like didn't ever.
No.
date. She like ghosted.
She didn't like it. She didn't like it either, guys.
She straight up ghosted, which I think is so funny to write this beautiful song. Like, I was enchanted to meet you, and he's like, me too. And then she's like,
Did you hear something?
she's like, what? What? I don't know you.
New number. Who's this?
Oh man, but looking back on it, I think it's very funny, and I hope that they can laugh at it too. Like, what do you think he thinks about it now?
Do you think he thinks about it?
Like,
I'm sure he does.
If he was, yeah, when Enchanted Taylor's version came out, you don't think he? What if he?
I think he was trying to like get a feature on Speak Now Taylor's version.
Okay, would you rather have a song written for you from Owl City, Adam Young, or Hinder?
I haven't played Hinder on this podcast in a long time ago. I'd probably rather have Hinder write a song for me. No. I don't want to answer this question. Adam Young, he's great. Sure.
And for the record, I don't think the Lakes is cringy. Y'all's version is funny. I laughed so hard.
Because it's not you.
Okay, explain the lakes that y'all are talking about.
Okay. A couple years ago, like it was during COVID and everybody was like going crazy, right? Because like we were all locked up, whatever. Nick and I were some of the only people coming into the studio for work. And one of us, who will remain unnamed, had an idea for like a TikTok video about the song The Lakes because it had just come out. And we recorded said it was more of like a sketch.
It was a sketch, and we were just reenacting what she was singing. So
Yeah.
there's right by the studio, there's like a canal, a body of water. So we sat right there like we were at a restaurant, and one of our coworkers was pretending to be a waitress, and we just recited some of the lyrics in the song.
But we were wearing wigs, sitting by the lakes, recreating this situation, and it was a lot funnier in the head of the person that had the idea. And then whenever we actually did it, it just was the most cringy thing. We like watched it back, and I said, "Never in the world, like never, no, this will never be uploaded to the internet. Never, ever, ever."
I wonder, like,
ever,
once we
ever.
run out of like songs to break down, is that when we post it? You know,
Never.
never. Oh, okay.
The only way, and I'm saying this on the record, the only way I will ever share the Lakes video is after I meet Taylor Swift.
True.
Okay.
I was gonna say after we like raise X number of dollars for a charity, but
Okay.
yeah, after
Whatever.
after
You were
meeting
not gonna
Taylor
say
Swift.
that.
No, I wasn't. After meeting Taylor Swift would be fine.
Like how soon after you meet Taylor Swift?
13 years later.
Are you going to meet her and then say, "Hold on, Taylor, there's something I must do," and then send that
No.
from your drafts?
No.
I think if we give it a new edit, like maybe a horror, like how it's like a fun family movie and they have the editing of a horror film, we could do that.
Maybe.
Like really scary, the
Maybe.
lakes.
the Lakes monster.
Yeah, but I don't know if it deserves like a director's cut.
It just deserves to be cut. Just completely.
All right, moving on.
It's in our vault.
Are we gonna talk lyrics?
Let's.
We're talking about Enchanted. If you didn't know, okay. She starts off saying, "There I was again tonight, forcing laughter, faking smiles, Same old tired, lonely place. Now, is same old tired, lonely place like an actual place she is, or is that just like in her head where she is in her personal life?
I figured the latter.
Okay.
Same.
Same old tired, lonely place. Walls of insecurity, shifting eyes and vacancy, vanished when I saw your face. All I can say is it was enchanting to meet you. So she's in a rut. She's not loving life right now. It's not that great.
Going through the motions.
She's not feeling comfortable in her own skin. And then all of a sudden she sees somebody.
Adam Young.
And all those feelings go away as soon as she sees somebody's face.
It's really cool how like the word enchanting like just sounds pretty, but the song itself also sounds really pretty.
Yes.
Like the way she sings is really pretty. The instruments is really pretty. Like the song itself is just very
Whimsical.
enchanting.
Mm-hmm. Your eyes whispered, have we met? Across the room, your silhouette starts to make its way to me. The playful conversation starts. Counter all your quick remarks like passing notes in secrecy. So they hit it off. As soon as they met, they cross the room, they start talking. They're finishing each other's sentences. They get each other's jokes. Sounds like it's a good time.
Yeah.
Sounds enchanting.
It's a perfect time.
It sounds very much like a scene out of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. It's a
You
meet
know?
cute.
Yeah, a meet cute.
meet
Yeah,
cute.
they're across the room. Your eyes meet.
And it was enchanting to meet you. All I can say, I was enchanted to meet you. The night is sparkling. Don't you let it go. I'm wonderstruck, blushing all the way home. I'll spend forever wondering if you knew I was enchanted to meet you. Have you ever thought that? Like, you have a good vibe with someone. You had a really great 15-minute conversation with someone at the bar. Are they going to be thinking about you like you're thinking about them?
I think that, like, did we hit off, like, friendship? Like, I really want
Right.
to be that person's friend. Do they want to be my friend?
Mhm.
Well,
Like,
because
was it as good as I thought it was?
And because, I mean, she had just said in the, verse prior, the playful conversation starts, all of that, like they're talking. But in the email that he had sent to her, he said, sorry, I was so quiet. I mean, which I take to, well, he said, sorry, I was so quiet. I was wonderstruck or whatever. So maybe he was just, I mean, I would be wonderstruck also to meet
Sure.
Taylor. Also, was wonderstruck just like in his vocabulary?
I don't know a lot of guys that say wonderstruck.
I don't either.
I
But
know.
he's also a musician,
That's
so
true.
he has
Artist.
those other
Those
words.
Yeah. So I also love
Synonym?
how,
Is that what it is? A word for another word?
yes.
An antonym is like the opposite of a word?
Maybe he was holding back. Maybe he thought he was being quiet or more quiet than he would normally be.
Because he was like nervous.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be too, But I also love how, so he used the word wonderstruck in the email to her. She snuck it into the song so that he kind of like knew that it was about him. And then Wonderstruck is also the name of her perfume.
Yes.
So I actually have the Wonderstruck perfume. I have it in a box in my bathroom. And I pulled it out the other day because I was really curious as to how it held up. And I sprayed it and I was like, "Bleh!" And I Googled, I was like, does perfume expire? It does. I, up until this point, thought that it didn't. And I was like, oh, maybe one day I will wear this Wonderstruck perfume on like a special occasion. But it is 13 years old, that bottle. So it no longer smells Wonderstruck.
Yeah, the Wonderstruck perfume was released in October of 2011.
Yeah. And there it is in my bathroom.
Is it a pretty bottle?
It is a very pretty bottle. It's like this,
Mhm.
and it's purple. It's
Excellent. Like a perfume bottle.
like this. Yeah.
The lingering question kept me up. 2 a.m. Who do you love?
A classic 2 a.m.
Yeah, she loves that time. I wonder till I'm wide awake. And now I'm pacing back and forth, wishing you were at my door. I'd open up and you would say, hey.
Hey!
Steven?
So this guy, this meet cute that happened, it's keeping her up at night. She's like, man, that was something.
But
Was it something? That was something to me.
do you think that based on, the interaction of him responding in a song and her basically ghosting, do you think that she actually was truly like, wondering if I like wide awake, like all this stuff? Or do you think that, the interaction happened and then she kind of just ran with it as an idea for a whimsical, beautiful, enchanting song?
I think she ran with it.
Yeah, that probably sounds about right. And then she goes into the chorus. It was enchanting to meet you. All I know is enchanting to meet you. And more of the chorus. This night is sparkling. Don't you let it go. I'm wonderstruck, blushing all the way home. I'll spend forever wondering if you knew that this night is flawless. Don't you let it go. I'm wonderstruck, dancing around all alone. So she's giddy. She's dancing around the room. She's giddy. She's dancing
wonderstruck.
around. She's wonderstruck. I'll spend forever wondering if you knew I was enchanted to meet you.
I know that we're like 3 years into our podcast, but Wonderstruck would have also been a cool name for the podcast.
Would have been good. Would have been good.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted it to be balled up piece of paper.
Crumpled up?
Crumpled up piece of paper. Dang it, I knew I messed that up. Crumpled up piece of paper. That's the one that I was going for.
Yeah, that was a good one. Have we ever read the alternative names that we thought of? I think we may have at one point on our show.
I think I have them in my.
Do you have them on
I'm
notes?
pretty sure I do, but let me find it. You guys can.
Wonderstruck would have been a good one, though.
New Romantics would have been good.
Okay, I have them here. I found them actually a lot faster because you can search keywords. Okay, do you guys want to hear what we had for our original podcast?
Sure.
So we are 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. That is what we decided on. But other ones that we had was Swift Talk, like Talk. Swift Talk, a Taylor Swift fan podcast.
Pretty much all of them are going to end with a Taylor Swift fan podcast, right?
Yeah.
Most of them? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making...
We also had...
Sure.
I mean, well, 'cause that was part of the idea, right? We wanted it to be like a Taylor Swift fan
So it
podcast.
was very clear what we were.
Yeah. Another one that we had was Speak Now, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, because
good
we
one.
were
Would
like
be speaking.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The 2 a.m. podcast, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, was another idea that we had. This is great. We also had Karma, a Taylor Swift fan podcast.
Ooh.
That would have been good.
That would have been good. We would have gotten a lot more hits during this whole phase that we're going through right now with
Do
Karma.
we regret it?
No.
No, I like 13.
13 is all encompassing.
Yeah.
Because now like Karma is kind of like its own era. Speak Now is its own era, you know? And then we also had The Story of Taylor Swift, an official fan podcast. Because we didn't want to repeat Taylor Swift twice.
It's a little wordy.
Yeah, so we ended up with 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast.
I like it.
Wonderful. Taylor continues in the lyrics. This is me praying that this was the very first page. She does like to sing about
The
story and writing a story of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Not where the storyline ends. My
thoughts will echo your name
Until I see you again.
These are the words I held back
As I was leaving too soon.
I was enchanted to meet you.
Don't be someone else.
Please don't have somebody waiting on you.
Please don't be in love with someone else. Please have I skipped a word accidentally, an important one.
This night is spark. Oh my God, amazing.
Don't you let it go.
And she continues with the chorus that we've heard before, and then the song wraps up with saying, please don't be in love with someone else. Please don't have somebody waiting on you.
I'm
Incredible.
just an Adam Young stan after this episode.
And
Yeah?
this was your favorite performance during the Eras tour, correct?
It was. I just thought it was really great how her voice sounded just absolutely perfect during this song, and she really belts it during the bridge and towards the end of the song. I mean, the song just explodes and is so huge, and she is just singing so good, and everything looks pretty. It's sparkly in the stadium. Her outfit is cool. The stage is great. I just thought this and Tolerate It were my two favorite performances
Very
of the Eras
theatrical.
tour. Yes,
Yeah.
very theatrical. So I loved it. Yeah, and in Tolerate It, Taylor Swift is giving an Oscar-winning performance
I agree.
on
Yes.
stage because the camera is just so close on her face the entire time. I mean, it is because kind of just her sitting at a table. And gosh, it was so good. Anyways,
But when she like gets on the table, she kind of turns into a cat. She's like,
yeah. She did go to cat school.
She like knocks over
She went
the
to cat school for the movie Cats. So She knows how to act. Like a
Knocks
cat.
over like the wine glass or whatever. Oh my gosh, incredible. Oh my god, I was about to say, I wish we could experience this in concert again, and we will in the movie theater.
That's gonna be great. Enchanted, top tier Taylor Swift
Top
song.
tier, top tier,
Top tier.
top
And
tier.
it was never a single, and it got its own resurgence last year, or no,
Yeah.
actually in 2021 after it went viral on TikTok, which is cool.
Yeah, and I remember when it was going viral on TikTok, a lot of people, just, normal people that use TikTok, they didn't know it was Taylor Swift. Like, they didn't know that it was like part of a Taylor Swift song. Because a lot of times on TikTok, like random parts of songs just go super viral.
Yeah, it's not like the most recognizable part of the song. It's just like a random
Yeah.
half of a verse.
Yeah. Do you think that do you think that's why she picked it to be the one and only song on the Speak Now era of the Eras tour? Because like everybody would know it?
I don't know. Do you think it was a little Easter egg saying like, here's just a little taste, it's coming next?
Maybe.
And
now
that's why she's not singing anything from debut, because that's not next. That is not coming out anytime soon.
and now she does, since Speak Now Taylor's version came out, she added Long Live to the set list. So now we have Enchanted and Long Live. And I'm really, really glad that she kept Long Live on the set list. Because when she performed it for the first time, the Speak Now release day when it came out. And I remember we were wondering, we're like, is she going to keep it on? And I'm really glad that she did. So, because, I mean, that song is just going to be another episode where we cry a lot. So, how enchanting, you guys. Do you guys want to hear some stories from our listeners about this song, Enchanted? We always like to post on our Instagram at the 13 Podcast about songs, asking you guys for your memories, stories, misheard lyrics, reactions, anything of the sort that you're okay with us sharing on the podcast. So here are a few of the comments about the song Enchanted. Carrie Surrell, I'm so sorry. Carrie said, I made Enchanted the final song at my wedding, and it was magical. I do love that. I've heard of couples doing that where they have like a last song.
Like a final dance. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. And so for Enchanted to do that, like This Night is Sparkling, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really, really beautiful. Danielle, Allred27, said, I always loved Enchanted. Now that my husband is also a Swiftie and loves the song too, we sing the lines, please don't be in love with someone else, and I was enchanted to meet you together. It holds more meaning now that I have my soulmate next to me. That's so sweet.
That's so funny that you said that my husband is now a Swiftie too. I met up with one of my college roommates. This guy was like the captain of the rugby team, like a muscular dude. And he was like, hey guys, I went to the Eras tour. And everyone was like, oh cool. And he was like, I'm a big Swiftie now. And I'm not joking. At least 5 times during the night, he brought the conversation to Taylor Swift.
Were you like, hey, this is usually my job?
No, I was like, thank you. I can see it. All of our other college buddies were like, okay, kind of rolling their eyes. But me and him, we were just like on a Taylor Swift thing. And then later that night, he called me about something because he was like, oh, I forgot to tell you blank. And then somehow he brought it back to Taylor Swift on the phone.
Is he a bigger fan than you?
He was just like, oh, this is also new to me. Like, I listen to everything now. It's just so good.
Does he want to come on the podcast?
He might have to. Kevin, you might have to join us. I don't
Kevin,
know.
come join us on the podcast. That's so fun. I love it. And do you guys feel like, your friends and like the people closest to you are kind of like Swifties by association?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Like Ryan is definitely a Swiftie. He won't he's a Swiftie. He knows.
He knows.
Amanda Mary 16 said, getting the Wonderstruck perfume for Christmas back in 2011 and still using it to this day. Oh,
Wow.
Amanda. Yours was probably stored better than mine.
Yeah. And maybe it's like if you don't use it, you lose it. So maybe like if it's not being pumped a lot.
Yeah, and I also found out recently that you're supposed to keep perfume refrigerated. What? Did you know that? I didn't know that. Or like in a cold environment. So if you keep your perfume like in the cabinets, like under the sink, they go bad faster than if you kept them like, that's why they have those little like makeup mini fridges.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I did not know that.
Yeah.
In high school, a guy named Corey would keep his gold necklaces in the freezer. So it'd be like his ice. And so he'd come to school with his ice and it'd be like frosted and it'd be like,
This is a dad joke?
No, I'm telling you, like Corey Woodard would do that. And so it would have like the
Like
little
ice
smoky.
crystals?
No, it would be like his chain would be like whatever was like the smokiness that comes off of
Yeah.
stuff that's
Like something
cold. Like
cold.
when you open up your freezer and like
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'd be like that.
How odd.
I
Yeah.
also need to have Corey on the podcast.
I was gonna say that's so cringe, and y'all gave hate to Adam Young.
Hey, he is a musician. So, hey.
Was he an Owl City fan?
I don't think so. He's a rapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I should have known from the gold chain.
All right, well, that does it for this episode of 13, a Taylor Swift Fan Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to us on right now. All the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. Join us next time. We're going to be breaking down Better Than Revenge.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift Fan Podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.